Hello, oboe players. I hope you all are excited to begin playing our instrument. We are going to begin by talking about our case. You want to make sure that the case is flat in front of you, and if there's a logo or a brand name on your case, you want to make sure that that logo or brand name is on top, facing up. Or, if there's no logo or brand name, like on my case, then you want to look at the latches, and these latches should be facing down. So either have the brand name or logo facing up, or if you don't have that on your case, look at the latches and they should be facing down. That way, when you go to open up your case, all of the pieces won't fall out of your instrument case. So once you have it flat with the logo on top or the latches facing down, you can begin opening up your case. And there's 4 main parts that you should see in your case. Number 1, you should have a reed. It might be in a case like this. You should also have your upper joint. Your lower joint. And the bell of the instrument. So again, we have the reed, we have the upper joint, and the way to tell if it's the upper joint is if it has the smaller opening on top without a cork. That's our upper joint. Then we have the lower joint, and lastly, the bell. Now, what you're going to need that's not actually in your case is you're going to need a little cup that looks like this, or a small empty container about the size of this cup, just a few inches tall. And what you need to do is fill that cup up, or container, with about 1 inch of hot tap water. That's what we're going to use for our reed. So you need to make sure you have a cup or a little container and fill it up with about 1 inch of hot tap water. Make sure that water is not extra hot, but it needs to be hot. And the purpose of that is to soak our reed. So once you have that set up next to you, go ahead and take your reed out of the case. And this part on top, the wooden part, you're going to take that part and you want to put that into your water and soak it in the hot tap water for about 1 minute. We are going to do that while we assemble our instrument. So go ahead and take your reed and place it in your water. Now, with your oboe, while that's soaking, you're going to take your upper joint and your lower joint, and remember the upper joint has the smaller hole. And you're just going to take these 2 parts and twist them gently together. Now the thing to look out for is between the upper and lower joint on the right side of your instrument, there's these 2 keys called bridge keys. And you want to make sure that they are overlapped the correct way, and you'll see how they fit into one another. And then when you look at your oboe, you should see all of the keys going straight down in the front. And then on the back, you're just going to see an octave key and then this thumb rest. Now once you have that, on the bottom part, on the lower joint, where there's a cork, go ahead and take your bell and twist that on. And that's how we set up our oboe. Now, what you want to do at this point, set your oboe aside and close your case. And let's start with the reed. Now that it's had a moment, about 1 minute to soak in the water, go ahead and take it out. We're actually going to start by making a sound on our reed. And what you need to do is just hold your reed, hold the cork part of the reed, just with 2 fingers on top and 1 finger on the bottom. And all you have to do is take both your lips and wrap them around your teeth like this, almost making a cushion for your teeth. And then you're going to put the reed right in the center of your lips, just about halfway in your mouth. And then you'll close up your cushion around the reed, and it will look like this. Now once you have that, we're going to make a sound. It'll sound like this on your reed. Now, I know that might be a goofy sound, but if you're able to make a sound on your reed like that, you'll then be able to play the oboe really well. So see if you can make that sound with me. 2 fingers on top, 1 finger on the bottom. Take both of your lips and make them cushions around your teeth. The reed goes right in about halfway into your lips. Gently close down and see if you can play with me. Ready, and... And that's our sound on our reed. Now we're going to do 2 exercises on the reed. And the first one is called play for 4, rest for 4 in whole notes. That means we're going to sustain a note for 4 beats long and then rest for 4. It'll sound like this. Try that with me. Play for 4, rest for 4 in whole notes. 1, 2, ready? Rest, rest, ready, and again. And that's play for 4, rest for 4 in whole notes. Now let's see if we can do our second exercise, play for 4, rest for 4 in 4 quarter notes. That'll sound like this. And that is play for 4, rest for 4 in 4 quarter notes. See if you can try that with me. Don't forget 2 fingers on top, 1 on the bottom, right in the center of your lips, cushion with both teeth. 1, 2, ready? Rest, rest, ready, here we go. And that is our 2 exercises on the reed. Once you've done that, and you're able to hold out a note like we did, we're going to put the whole instrument together. So, you have your upper joint, your lower joint, and your bell. Now take your reed, and you just want to gently twist it on top. Now, you should notice that on your reed, the 2 edges of the reed, the 2 corners, should be going away from you. That way, the flat part of the reed is facing you. Once you have that reed in, let's learn how to hold the oboe. You're going to take your right hand and take your thumb, and it's going to rest right underneath of the thumb rest. And the best place to put it is right above the corner of your fingernail. So you're going to rest your thumb right here in your right hand. And then your fingers should just hover the keys right here. Don't press them down, just hover above them. Now, on your left hand, we should see this long key up top. That's called our first octave key. You want to keep your thumb right below that octave key. So not touching it, not over top of it, but rest it on the instrument right beneath that first octave key. And then again, let your other fingers rest above the oboe. Now you want to aim that your fingers are horizontal. So see how mine are going straight across? If yours look like this, or like that, that's not what we're going for. We want the fingers to be perfectly horizontal. So aim for that horizontal position. Now, once you have that set, you're going to take the oboe, and you want to place the reed the same way we did it before, with 2 cushions on our lips, right in the center of your lips, and just hold the oboe out in front of you, just like mine. Now, make sure when you're holding the oboe, it's not way up like this, like a trumpet. It's not down like this, like a clarinet, but it's right in between. That's how we hold the oboe. So go ahead and hold it in that position. Now what I want you to do, in your left hand, take your first 2 fingers and press them down over the first 2 keys. You should seal those holes up completely. And now in your right hand, the thumb, remember our nails under that thumb rest, you're just going to press down the first big key. Hold those 3 fingers down. The oboe's right in front of you. You're going to get a note that'll sound like this. See if you can play that with me. 2 fingers down in the left hand and 1 finger down in the right. Ready, play. And that is our first note name, and we call that note name B flat. Let's see if we can do play for 4, rest for 4 in whole notes with B flat. Don't forget, hold the oboe right out in front of you. 1, 2, ready, and rest, rest, ready. Now let's see if we can play for 4, rest for 4 with 4 quarter notes, again on our note name B flat. Now make sure while you're playing this, your other fingers just hover over the rest of the keys. We don't want to have them like this. We don't want to have them way up high, but just hovering above the keys with our horizontal finger position. 4 quarter notes. 1, 2, ready. Rest, rest, ready. And those are our 2 exercises, play for 4, rest for 4, on note name B flat. Now from here, what you need to do when you're disassembling the instrument, we just take it apart in that reverse order. So you want to take your reed off first. We don't want that to get damaged. So you untwist your reed, and you want to put it back in your reed case. That way it has a chance to dry out and it won't get damaged. Then from there, you'll take the bell off. You'll take your upper joint and lower joint apart. Careful with the bridge keys, making sure we get them off from one another. And you'll place those in your case. And then you're all packed up. Now, oboes, I don't expect you to practice for an hour in a day without stopping. But what I do expect is that you practice for multiple times throughout the day in small amounts of time. For example, you could practice just on your reed for about 5 minutes, and then go take a break, go do something else. Come back to it later, practice on your reed for 2 minutes, and then practice on the whole instrument for 5 more minutes. The key to getting really, really good at the oboe is by practicing small amounts of time, multiple times throughout the day. And if you do that, you're going to be really successful at the instrument. And don't forget, oboes, make sure you get a cup or a little container, and you want to fill that with hot water to soak your reed in before you're about to play every single time. So have fun practicing, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.